a lot of our audience are video game players and definitely probably have played pinball, but maybe are not pinball enthusiasts. Would you call yourself a video game enthusiast?
No, I wouldn't. I had an Atari and I was huge into that, and I can still beat pretty much anybody at any Atari game. I'm very good at it.
Missile Command even?
That game kind of bored me, but I mean the head-to-head stuff, combat, I will annihilate you. I never really got another game system. When they made the switch to the Nintendo-style controllers, I could never really get the hang of it. I was used to the simple joystick and button, and it took me a long time to adapt to these new controllers coming over from Japan. I just discovered Halo over Thanksgiving. It's very confusing to me. There's a lot of buttons on there, and I just don't know if I have the patience, to work with that.
With pinball, there are 2 buttons.
There are 2 buttons, maybe 4 if there's something special going on.
Is there any validity to the pinball games that do come out on the game consoles?
Well, they're valid in that they exist, and they do introduce people, I think, to pinball who had never seen it. I've played a bunch of them. The physics are usually pretty terrible. It's like it just doesn't work right.
And you just don't have the feeling of the actual cabinet.
Yeah, and you can't really nudge it, which is a huge part of pinball. You're moving it around to try to get it to do what you want. They might have a tilt button or something, but there's obviously no substitute for the real thing. All right, this here is 8-Ball, and this is actually the 2nd best-selling game of all time. I know it doesn't look that spectacular, but when this came out, it was one of the first digital games. But what made this game huge is that it remembers between players. So if player 1 has, a certain number of balls that they've sunk, it's going to reset for player 2, and it's going to remember what each player has. It's also got really fast action. Nobody had really played anything like it when it came out. Anyway, you can give this one a whirl if you want. I'll set a 2-player game up. It's got a clear goal. You're trying to get all the solids down. So if you see a lit ball, you shoot at it.
The flippers feel even more responsive.
Yeah, all the digital games were much faster.
I like how you can feel the bumpers like reverberating through the wood. Like on the newer games, I don't think you can feel that as much.
That's true, and also you can't hear the ball rolling around. So now it's going to reset your solids, your solids, and I'm stripes.
Okay.
And again, this was just a huge deal because before that you couldn't do something like that. This game, it's going to remember which balls you've taken down. It's going to remember which balls I've taken down, which is going to lead to fierce competition. And especially in New York, there's definitely a small group of people who are fairly, you'll get to see their high scores. They're fairly religiously following the new games around. There's Sean the Storm Grant, who you can usually see at 7B. There's Crazy Al, who's another lunatic.
Would you say the subculture is mostly male-dominated?
Yeah, but there's some girls who do. I used to go out with a girl who was a fairly accomplished. But yeah, there's definitely more men who do it, and I would say all the best players in the world are men. But let's step up, ladies. Let's see it happen.
Now, if a girl were to win a pinball tournament, would she be called a pinball witch?
It's interesting. I've never had that question posed to me. I've never even thought about it. I guess is wizard gender specific?
Well, I mean, in Harry Potter, you have witches and wizards. So I'm just saying.
Well, if we're going by Harry Potter rules, then yes, I suppose.
So maybe I could be the pinball witch.
Well, I haven't seen you play yet.
Well, I'm pretty good
Well,
at certain games.
And that's the end of your game. You actually defeated me.
Yes!
So congratulations. Yes.
Sweet.
I'm magnanimous in defeat.
No, it's cool. You'll probably kick my ass.
Yeah, it's fun. I find I lose a lot when I bring people up here to play. Maybe my heart's not into it. Maybe I'm just not that good.
So, Levi, I just want to thank you so much for letting us come here and talk to you today all about pinball and stuff. And we learned a ton of stuff, or at least I learned a ton of stuff about techniques and things, like the slap save,
yes,
and the nudge,
yes,
and
beautiful.
and all the different kinds of pinball machines all throughout the ages. It's so cool. And you fix and repair machines.
I do. If anybody's interested in the game, old or new, they can go visit my site. It's www.crazylevipinball.org. and I've got inventory up there, pictures and prices, and more about the whole thing. And I hope to see you out there playing pinball and visiting the bars in the East Village, and having fun. That's what it's all about.
Awesome. So pinball games are games just as much as video games are. So if you see a pinball machine, give it some love, feed it some quarters, and give it a shot. Awesome. Well, we're going to go do some viewer mail. So let's go do that. Come on.
Excellent.
Hey everyone, Little Miss Gamer here, and I'm here to do viewer mail with you this week from inside the apartment. Yeah, we were going to go out on location, but it's freezing rain outside, and it's really cold and wet. So I'm wearing my winter hat in commemoration of being outside, but we're going to stay in here where it's warm and dry. So let's get to it. Dear Little Miss Gamer, as a gamer who lived in the Rockaways, I was so happy to see viewer mail being read at Rockaway Beach. That was what we did last week. When I saw the familiar boardwalk, I was like, holy boop! That's my beach, he said. From one Queens resident to another, you couldn't pick a better spot to shoot. Not even Shea Stadium. See you when I see you, Lance. Awesome. That is so cool, Lance. I'm so glad that it made you feel awesome that we shot in your home turf, That's one of the things we try to do is go to different spots each week, obviously except for this week because it was so cold and wet outside, and shoot a segment that kind of reflects the area and also reflects the game that we're reviewing this week. So if you have any suggestions also for where we should do viewer mail, let us know. Write to me at littlemissgamer@pbcproductions.com. Okay. Hey, Little Miss Gamer, just watched the Star Tropics review. Good job. Thanks. I only wondered why you didn't mention that there was a sequel for the NES. Was this because you didn't like the sequel? I played both games and enjoyed them, so maybe you should mention Star Tropics 2, Zoda's Revenge sometime, if only for informational purposes. Anyway, keep up the good work. Kevin, Mobile, Alabama. Well, Kevin, I actually do have Zoda's Revenge. There were a couple reasons I didn't mention it. One, because I think maybe it should have its own review possibly someday. I haven't actually played the game very much because I always thought I'll play that game once I beat the first game. I didn't want to give anything away, And I've also had heard a lot of reviewers say that they didn't really like that game as much. So I didn't want to be disappointed, and I did want to finish the first game first. Which I'm almost there. I did save my uncle. I just haven't beaten the aliens yet. But at some point, hopefully in the next month or so, I will finally sit down and beat that game and then eventually possibly do a review of Zoda's Revenge. Dear Little Miss Gamer, the Star Tropics review was good. Thanks. Special game inserts and extras are awesome. Older PC games had a lot of that cool stuff, like cloth maps. Look at Chad. Oh, Chad is doing the... Chad's our camera guy. He just threw this at me. What does this say? This is a map that Chad got from the PC game Might and Magic 3. Oh, I know this map. It's hanging up in our room. So this is another inserted map that Chad got of Might and Magic 3. Isles of Terra. I love inserts. It just makes it more real, Makes the game feel like it's not just a digital world. It can be interactive and be a part of your world as well. Hey, I just wanted to thank everyone so much for writing in. I really love receiving mail from people. I've been getting letters from all over the world, which is so awesome. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for reviews, please feel free to write to me here at littlemissgamer@pbc-productions.com. I'd love to hear from you. So, till next time, this is Little Miss Gamer. Keep playing.
Yes. Look at that. I nudged.
Brutally so. That was good, though.